we're at the end of November already. This week we're going to take a look at your obliques. Those are the muscles that run along the sides of your abs. You actually have two sets in there. We refer to one as the internal obliques and one as the external obliques. And you're going to have the opportunity to work both of them this week. So tomorrow, Monday, you're going to start with figure 4 crunches. So what that means is you're going to lie down on the floor. You're going to cross one ankle over your knee. So if you have this view, it looks like a 4. That's why it's called a figure 4 crunch. So ankle over knee, hands behind ears. You're going to try to get your armpit to your knee. So you're going to do 10 of those, and then go back to the other side. Now here's what I don't want, and that's this stuff. If you're moving your elbow or your knee, you're missing the point of the work. So make sure you keep the elbow out of sight at all times. Take a crunch, and then come back. Goal is to get both shoulders off the floor. Do 10 per side, and you can use the time you're doing the other side as your break on the first side, so we can really burn through this pretty quickly. The next day is your external obliques. So what's going to happen? You're going to roll down on the floor, sit up, ankles reach toward me. You'll see that my head is just a little bit lifted. I'm not looking to the ceiling like this. I'm looking between my knees, and then you're going to reach for your heel or your toe, toe, toe. What I want you to think about is keeping your elbow right next to your hip. So it's almost like you're dropping your elbow. I don't want any of this playing in a meadow. Ooh, none of that stuff. So stay tight, elbow to hip, and crunch this way. And that's going to take care of your external obliques. The next day is a hip drop. A few options on this. One is to leave the knee down and lift this way. So you'll notice that I drop toward the floor and then lift back up at least into neutral. If you want to go a little bit higher, that's okay, but make sure that you don't take a rest while you're there. Constant motion. So level 2 would be here with your feet stacked, down and up. And if that's not enough, feel free to set something on that hip to make sure that you're getting enough resistance. But here's the deal. Take another look at my arm. Elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. That's going to keep that in line. What tends to happen is people do this, which makes it a little bit too easy, or they do this, which can do some damage to the shoulder. So I don't want you to do either of those things. Bicycle crunch. Knees start up on this. We're going to take that motion from the first day with those figure 4 crunches, and we're going to add legs. So opposite arm to opposite leg. Note my leg goes straight out. Here's what I see a lot. So I know we call it a bicycle crunch, but it's not like you're rolling through pedals. A couple of ways that you can make this a little less intense. You can tap the toes, or you can kick high. Both of those things are going to reduce the intensity just a little bit. So that will be on Thursday, Friday, a plank cross under, looks like this. Now, option 1 would be to do it for your knees, starting in a tabletop position, just cross the knee under, and then come back. Option 2 would actually be to come up to the toes and cross under that way. So the goal is to get the knee as close to the elbow as you possibly can. If you exhale when you're pulling that knee through, it's going to empty the abdomen of air, so you're going to be able to pull the knee a little bit further. If you're holding your breath, your chest and your belly is going to be expanded, which means you're going to have a difficult time pulling your knee up. And finally, an exercise called pocket sits. Now you can hold something if you'd like, or you can just put them here, but here's why we call them pocket sits. You're going to lean back just a little, and I'll show you a profile. If you just do it here, it's not going to be the same. It's like you're trying to put your hands in your pocket, okay? So from the side, you'll see I touch my pocket, and I touch my pocket. What I don't want is this big wide thing where you're only using your arms. Hands together, touch, touch, touch. If you need it to be a little bit harder, or you can put something in your hand. So every time you cough this week, every time you turn, those kinds of things, you're going to feel those muscles in your side if you're keeping up with it. So sometimes these muscles are called love handles. So if you want to firm up that area of your body, I mean, we can't target where we lose fat, but we can firm up the muscle underneath those layers. So if that's an area you want to work on, this week is totally for you. So we have 1 more month ahead of us. Hit this week hard, and we'll chat again next week.